disappointed in the loss. Our kids fought hard, played hard. They had a couple guys cramping up with the heat, but our defense played tough. Showed some things that we got to build off of, just not good enough. Scoring touchdowns, obviously, is not acceptable. And then too many penalties at this point. The special teams penalties really hurt our offense, set us back inside the 10 times, inside the 15. So just every time we get a decent return, it seems like we have penalties. So can't do that, but just play the game. You learn from week 1, and you move on to week 2. Questions?
Go ahead, Zach.
Feel free to kind of just the obvious. What was the thought process behind essentially splitting the quarterback reps? And did you feel like either guy gave you something to think about that maybe you didn't feel like you knew about?
Yeah, I just thought I'd be very open about the process. So went through the whole thing. I said we made our decision. Our decision was to play them both in the first 2 games. So as far as we started this week, the game starts next week. And the guys know that. They knew that ahead of time. And so, because here's the reality. You have spring ball, you have summer, you have fall camp, and they never get hit, and it's not full bore live football playing in the game. And they need to play in the game for us to truly be able to. It was one guy would have good practice, and the other guy, and it'll be back and forth, or a good week, and it was just all kind of like, man, so similar. And so, but at the same, so we felt like the best thing to do was let's let them see them play. We told them both they're going to both play. We didn't have like a pitch count. We didn't say when you're going to go in. We just said this: whoever starts week 1, was going to start week 2. That's how we set it up. And so gives us a chance to be able to, after the first 2 games, better evaluate where we're at, where they're at, what we need to be able to do moving forward. So that's what happened today. I couldn't even tell you how many snaps each one of them played, but we'll watch the film. And bottom line, it's about being able to move the football down the field and get us in the end zone. So weren't able to score with either one of them, and so we obviously got to get better. And so we got to do a better job executing and just continue to grow our offense. And obviously, they do a lot of things that make it very difficult, and just felt like that we needed game time to evaluate, and that's where we are. So we don't have preseason games, we don't have anything against anybody else, and so we obviously had to play a Big Ten opponent week 1. That's something that's part of the deal, and so we chose to go that direction. So I thought both guys did some good things, both guys made some mistakes, so it's got to build off of it.
Matt, on your left, and Mike.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, the opponent has some newness with really talented defense, but you guys struggled to throw the ball and really nothing downfield. Is it kind of the game plan to do that, or would you like to see more shots?
Yeah, I would say it was probably a little more conservative than we even in that game would like for it to be. So but there's certain reasons for that without question. So, but yeah, we got to be able to do that, and that's going to grow for sure. And we really felt like coming in, you're going to have to take about 7 or 8 shots, and then a couple of those we had, and got pressure. And so, but at the same time, yeah, there's no question we got talented receivers on the perimeter, and got to do a very job getting those guys the football. But I think you're just going to see it continue to grow each week. There's no question about it. Both these guys can throw the football, but I just think once again, some of the field position didn't help us several times. When you're backed up like that, that's when you make big mistakes and get costly situations, and you don't want to throw picks in those spots. And so, once again, 2 young guys, probably a little more conservative than we will be moving forward, but not probably definitely more conservative than we will be moving forward. But at the same time, just got to continue to get better.
Mike, on your left, and Todd.
I know you can't predict the future, but you said you want to reevaluate the quarterbacks after the 2 games. Is your hope that one separates themselves and you could just stick to one and not keep rotating?
Yeah, I would like to be able to have that, yes. But I think it's really just fair to be able to have them both play. It's the same opponent. If you just play one against one team, one against another team, and it really doesn't give you a pretty clear picture at all. Obviously, they're 2 different opponents. Our first 2 opponents are very different.
Todd, on your right, and Seth.
Tom, were you given an explanation on the incomplete pass at the end of the first half by the officials?
Explanation for the
incomplete pass that you used?
Oh yeah, they said his arm was going forward. So I mean, obviously, I didn't think it was, but it's just a review that they go through, and it's not like I can challenge that. So once they review it, they made that decision. So, but I thought it was a hit and fumble. So obviously we'd had the ball and saved us 3 points. But so
Seth in front, and Jim.
On your defense, gave you a chance, for most of the game today. It seemed like, especially in the middle, Aaron and Jacob really kind of set the tone. How big of a catalyst is it when you get good play from linebackers?
it's huge. I was really proud of Jacob. Obviously, we've never seen Jacob play in a game, here, just on film at Stanford. And so I thought that he did a really good job. And I think he's played excited about those two guys. They're two big physical guys that can both run and make plays. So we showed some guys some signs up front too to be able to do some things that are going to be very important moving forward. So just got to keep getting better. And I'd like to look in our guys' eye. I mean, there was no doubt a lot of disappointment in that locker room, but at the same time, we got to be able to look ourselves in the eye, make corrections, and get ready for a short week.
Jim in front and Jack.
Tom, follow up on that a little bit with the secondary of the defense. There's a lot of questions coming into this game, especially going against one of the, if not the best receiving corps in the country. And it looks like they passed that test today.
I believe so, and obviously, you don't know until you go do it. I was really concerned about that matchup without question, and it is. I know for a fact those receivers are special, and the one is probably the best we've ever gone against since I've been coaching my entire career. And so, just to be able to do, to keep those guys in check was very critical, and it was combinations of pressure up front as well as the guys coming back in and just trying to do a good job of disguising things, and that's just. You saw how we're going to play. Man, that's the system. That's who we are. That's what we want to be able to do. Mix things up, confuse people. Got some length in the back end. Got some playmakers. I thought we dropped 2 picks. They would have been tough catches. We dropped 2 picks that they ended up getting 6 points off of, 2 field goals that we got to make plays on. But I was very encouraged by our secondary. As you said, there's a whole bunch of new guys, and then you got Jamar Sharp, who's a redshirt freshman that didn't play much last year, and he really played a lot today. So a lot to build off of, a lot to be excited about in that area. We just got to keep battling and keep getting better.
Jack on your right, Mason.
Yeah, sticking with the defense, how do you kind of evaluate what you got from a lot of those transfers up front, kind of the D-line end in both spots?
Yeah, I would say, we got a little tired. The heat was a part of that, but obviously it's for both teams. But I thought that we did a good job of establishing the line of scrimmage defensively, made it hard on them. We gave up a couple creases there, but not very many, and we've struggled. You go back and look at the stats if I need to help you on that, but we have not done a good job stopping run against these guys for many years now. Even in, the year we played them close, it was one because we played great run defense, and they ran all over us, and so we made a concerted effort. Obviously, we went out and found guys that we felt like gave us some size and length and ability to help us do a better job physically, but also just made sure we just worked so hard on run fits all fall camp, all spring long. So I think there's a lot to build off there on that without question. You got to stop the run, and we got some talented DBs to help us when you have to throw in some guys who can pressure them. So there's no question. They had new quarterbacks too, so having new quarterbacks creates difficulty for an offense without question. But at the same time, they've been a machine on offense for a long, long time, and got some really, really talented football players in the backfield up front and on the perimeter. So I thought our guys did a lot of good things defensively. I was more encouraged by the bows up in the red. So that's when you got a long drive, you're tired, you're fatigued, and it's a gut check, it's a character check, it's a can you bow up when your body's really, really exhausted and fatigued and make a play against an elite team and a top 3 team in the country. So to me, our guys showed that. Forced them to kick several field goals, and that's how you win games.
Mason in front, Sam.
Coach, going back to the quarterbacks, is there a certain aspect of the offense or an element that you feel more comfortable with, or is maybe more open with one quarterback versus the other, or are you trying to keep kind of the same offensive scheme for both guys?
Yeah, I don't know that we really look at it as that we're changing with those two guys. I think that their skill sets are similar enough. We really will. There may be a couple of things that I wouldn't get put out that we might say we would do per their strengths, but it's not holistically major. Okay, there will be some subtle things within both the run game and the throw game to favor their strengths. But as a system, though, we just got to keep growing and get better at it. And like I said, I think they both showed some signs of that, and also showed that they're young. But we just got to keep working. It's one of those situations where we know what's ahead of us and what we got to do, and I want to see a lot of growth between week 1 and week 2. We say it all the time. It's very, very true. We knew we didn't have any margin for error week 1 because of our opponent, but at the same time, the growth is still expected between week 1 and week 2, and so that's not going to be different, especially with our offense and our defense as well, our special teams play. So, but I think that those guys showed that there's much to build off of without question. So I'm not going to sit here and be negative, because it's not who I am. It doesn't serve any purpose. It doesn't help us get any better. It's just finding the things we can do to get better from now until we play again and really dive into those. And there's no off day this week. Monday's usually our off day. We practice on Monday because of our Friday game. So, but you know how I feel about Friday night game. That's not a decision that we make. That comes straight from the Big Ten. So if everyone's complaining about that, don't talk to me. Okay, and so that's Friday night football. It's for high school football. Bottom line. I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, until somebody tells me to shut up. So, and I'll probably say it again. Friday night football is for high school football.
Sammy up top.
Coach James Evans, 54.5-yard average today. What kind of weapon can he provide the rest of the season if he stays in
Yeah,
the season?
my big thing for him is consistency. And he was excellent today, and he works his tail off. And every year he just keeps getting better. And so I'm really proud of him. I mean, he's one of those guys I got to tell him, and I said, like I said this year ago, I got to tell him to stop kicking. He tries to kick way too much in the off season, summertime. And so he's such a hard worker. He cares so much, and not at all surprised. Matter of fact, Coach Guerrero, when he came and joined us, he's like, man, that's the best punter I've ever seen on any team I've been part of. And I would agree, because he continues to get better. So big weapon for us, and obviously he's got to do his job consistently well, and you know, it helps us flip the field. So got to have everybody doing their job at a high level to win in this conference.
Zach, last one.
Kind of with Jalen, it felt like obviously some opportunities in special teams. Yeah, I think that one punt return in particular, but couldn't really find the same room offensively. What did you like, maybe especially from him in an expanded special teams role, and where do you feel like you need to keep working to kind of get him as much as he needs? Maybe, I guess, the spots on the field.
Yeah, I would say, you know, the whole, you know, I was questioned last year why he didn't return punts last year. And he wasn't ready, you know, so he struggled in that area to catch the ball. And I mean, he has worked as much as James, so James would tell you that Jay Lou would be coming to get him. Every time you're punting, I'm catching. He caught punts after punt all off season to be able to put himself in position to be our punt returner. That is a very difficult skill set to be able to do, especially to the kind of punters we're going to play against. So that's a huge new weapon. We got to do a great job making sure we're getting penalties on those returns, but that's a huge way for us to get him the ball in space. Even more so than kickoff returns, the nature of the way punts are. And then offensively, you know, we just got to continue to find ways to get him the ball in space. And that to me is going to be, you know, we have a pitch count for him to make sure he gets so many touches. Obviously, he went out a couple different times with some cramping, which he's got such, you know, a lean body type and, you know, such a small percent of body fat, and he's all muscled up. So that's a concern. We obviously work through that as we go each week, and we'll have a night game on this weekend, which may help him. So, but at the same time, we want to see him get the ball in space. That's where he's the most dangerous. So I think that it'll continue to be a chance to get him the ball, and I think our offense, there's no question that we understand how valuable he is. So he's a great little player. He's got to keep working to find get him the ball.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great day, Elio.